When you think of India, you probably picture ancient temples, bustling cities, incredible food. But there's another side to this country, a side filled with mysteries that honestly just don't have an easy explanation. Today, we are diving headfirst into some of the most baffling phenomena in India, from hills that seem to pull cars upward to a lake literally filled with human skeletons. And that quote, it just perfectly sets the stage for what we're about to get into. We're stepping into that blurry space between what we know for sure and what we can only wonder about. It's going to be a wild ride. I hope so, because we have got a lot of ground to cover. We're talking gravity-defying stones and spooky ghost lights. So let's jump right in. Our first stop? Places where the laws of nature themselves just seem to break. All right, let's start with some phenomena where the natural world itself seems to be playing by a different set of rules than the ones we're used to. Okay, first up, I want you to picture this. We're high up in the mountains of Ladakh, almost 11,000 feet above sea level. You're on this remote road, and you see something that just doesn't make any sense, something that seems to violate the basic laws of physics. People swear that if you put your car in neutral, it will start rolling uphill all by itself. So what in the world is going on? Well, science has a pretty cool explanation. It's a type of optical illusion called a gravity hill, where the way the horizon is blocked makes a downhill slope look like it's going up. Your brain gets totally tricked. But the local legend is way more mysterious. It says this was a road to heaven, and only those who are worthy would get pulled up. Which one do you believe? Okay, so from a mind-bending illusion, we're shifting gears to something much more tragic and bizarre. Over in a small village called Jatinga, a strange event has been happening for over 100 years, and it has left experts totally baffled. Get this, every single year during the late monsoon, thousands of birds literally fall out of the sky and die. It happens like clockwork, just in this one little area, and only in the evening. And here's the real kicker. Most of these birds are diurnal. That means they're supposed to be active during the day. So why are they flying around at night? And what's causing them to crash to their deaths? The explanations for this could not be more different. For generations, the villagers have believed that evil spirits in the sky are responsible. But scientists think it has something to do with the thick fog and high winds disorienting the birds, making them fly towards the village lights. Even so, nobody can say for sure why it happens here and only here. The exact cause is still a total mystery. So we've seen nature get weird. Now let's turn to mysteries that seem to be fueled by something else entirely, by human belief, by faith, and by ancient rituals. Our next stop is a shrine in Shivapur, Maharashtra. And at this shrine, there's a special rock. A rock that, people say, can float in the air. But there's a catch. You have to follow a very, very specific set of rules. And we're not talking about some small pebble here. This stone weighs around 70 kilograms. That's about 154 pounds. Normally, lifting that would take some serious muscle. But here, it's not about strength at all. It's about something else. The ritual is just so precise. You have to hear this. First, you need exactly 11 people. Not 10, not 12, 11. Then, each person has to touch the stone with just one finger, their index finger. As they all chant the name of the Sufi saint who supposedly put a curse on the stone 800 years ago, it reportedly just floats up. Try it with any other number of people or any other way, and it's just a heavy, unmovable rock. Okay, now for a mystery that mixes ancient belief with a very, very modern problem. In the city of Hyderabad, there's a temple that's become famous for something pretty unusual. This is the Chilkur Balaji Temple, but everyone calls it the Visa Temple. Why? Because it's become the place to go if you're hoping to get a US visa. And what's wild is that thousands upon thousands of people claim that after they visited and prayed here, their visa was approved. So, what's going on? Is it actual divine intervention, or is it just a powerful example of the law of attraction at work? No one really knows. All right, for our final leg of this journey, we're going even deeper. We're stepping into the realm of folklore, ancient legends, and maybe, just maybe, lingering spirits. High up in the Himalayas, there's a lake called Rupkund. For most of the year, it's just a beautiful frozen body of water. But when the summer sun comes and the ice melts, it reveals a secret that is absolutely chilling. The scale of what's down there is just staggering.
When the lake thaws, the remains of an estimated 600 human skeletons become visible, some with flesh still attached, scattered in and around the water's edge. 600 people.
So what on earth happened here? Well, scientists have dated the bones back to around the 15th century. The local legend tells a really tragic story of a king, his pregnant wife, and their entire party on a pilgrimage. The story goes that they were caught in a sudden, horrific hailstorm, with hailstones as big as cricket balls, and no one survived. Their bodies were just left there, preserved in the cold for centuries. And for our last stop, we're heading into the marshlands of West Bengal. It's a place where, for generations, fishermen have reported seeing these strange, hovering lights over the swamps at night. They call them ghost lights. These are the Alea lights, and you've got two completely different ways of looking at them. The scientific take is that it's probably just methane gas bubbling up from the decaying plants in the marsh, which then ignites when it hits the air. But the fishermen, they believe something much darker. They say the lights are the souls of fishermen who drowned, and that these spirits try to lure living fishermen off the path, leading them to drown too. Wow, what a trip, right? We've seen a hill that seems to break the laws of physics. We've seen faith literally move a stone, and we've explored legends that are still sending shivers down people's spines today. Which really brings us to the big question, doesn't it? Are these just puzzles that science hasn't gotten around to solving yet? Are they powerful myths that help us make sense of a confusing world? Or could they be proof of something else, something that we just don't have the words for yet? Maybe, in the end, not knowing is what makes it all so fascinating. Thanks for coming along for the ride.